Welcome back to Vegas Live. I'm Ninon, and of course we always have so much fun when we actually we stop the camera, and we really have, I don't know if we have more fun or less fun, but we sure have a good laugh. We have a great time. I have Samantha with me, and this woman is also got many talents, and I'm like, all these women that are coming on, they've got more than one thing going.
It's like, it's Vegas, you have to.
Well, but it seems everywhere now. It seems like women are starting to they're starting to, what I call, they're starting to blossom.
There you go.
They're starting to realise the talents they have and the things they do. But what I admire with Samantha, look at this hairdo. How many women could wear a hairdo like this? Because I don't even know if you call it a hairdo. But apparently one day you got the shears.
Oh, yeah.
She got the shears and she got the bleach. And this is the result.
And this is what happened.
This is what happened.
10:30 at night. I'm bored. I'm like, what am I going to do?
So whenever you get bored, you can end up like this.
Yes. Things that happen.
But you're beautiful.
Thank you.
There's very few women could actually wear this look.
Well, I'm lucky enough that I don't have a weird shaped head. So.
Did you realise that before you cut it all
I
off?
wasn't. We weren't sure.
You weren't sure? Actually, she got all these lumps all over.
Trial and error.
But not only that, this woman is, you're 5'10", right?
Yes.
All right, now I want you to put your leg up a second. Look at the high heels. I mean, look at these heels. I don't know where you start. Look at this. I mean, how much is that? 5, 6 inches?
Probably 5 or 6, something like that.
5 or 6 inches. So she's 5'10" with 6-inch heels.
Yes.
And
So,
she's now also
6'4".
she's also told me that I've got to start wearing something like that.
Absolutely.
So
Every girl needs just ridiculous red bottom heels. If
I
you don't
agree.
have them, you need them.
Actually, I actually agree 100%. Now let's get down to what this young lady does. Now you're a casting director as well.
I'm not a casting director. I'm a talent manager.
Oh, a talent manager.
Yes.
Now what is the difference between that? Because a lot of people get confused.
Sure. So a casting director, you're working directly with the production.
Yes.
To find talent for whatever
Okay.
you're shooting. On the talent manager side, I work with a group of talent and I'll send them out to auditions.
So you have to find all the auditions.
I find the work for them.
You find the work for them.
Exactly.
So I just employed her. She doesn't know it yet, but I just employed her. But I'll give you a good percentage.
Oh, great.
What percentage do you charge?
I take 10% of any contract.
I'm going to give her 20%.
I'll take the 20%.
I just want to make sure she takes me, that's all.
It's on record now.
It's on record now, yeah, don't publicise out there. But you know, it's not giving you 20%. And listen to this is very important. It's not giving her 20%. It's me having 80%.
Exactly.
And I think if you look at it that way,
the greatest way to look at it.
if you look at it that, and so many people say, I don't want to give 50%, I don't want to give 20%, and I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you want to do? You're making 80%, or you're making like your clients make 90%.
Well, and the big thing about it is that the way that I tell my clients to look at it is you're investing in your future.
But you're investing in yourself.
Exactly. Because why would you pay somebody to do something when they're not going to do any of the work? I make sure that you're ready for whatever you're going to. If you want to be in Cirque du Soleil, you know what? I'm going to send you to the right trainers. We're going to send you to the right coaches, so that way when you
take
go,
care of all that.
exactly. I have this team that I work with. Everybody from how to market yourself, social media wise, to vocal coaches and acting coaches and Cirque coaches.
I don't think when people actually go into this business realize they think they've already got the talent and they don't need training, they don't need anything. They're just going to walk in there and they're going to be discovered.
Exactly. And if you're not
It
going
does
to
not work that way.
No.
Believe me, it doesn't.
If you're not going to put in the work, then who's going to want to work with you?
Well, no, because these are all experienced people. So when somebody comes along and they think they're it,
Right.
and then they don't know what to do.
Exactly.
And they can get fired just like that. I'll replace. You know, it's funny, in the entertainment business,
Cocktails,
I think it's a
please,
very
cocktails.
beautiful thing. When you do a wrong line, they never say the line's wrong. They will turn around and say, well, let's try it again, or let's try it this way.
Exactly.
They never put an actor or anybody down. I've noticed in the business they never do that. And even when they dismiss them, they don't want them because they're not doing the job they want. They'll say, well, that's enough, and that's what we want. But they never really fire them.
Right. Exactly. Well, because you don't want to completely damage a person. You know.
No, well, that's it. Because that's what they live on. They live on their personality. And I always admire that with directors and managers and people. They never put them down.
Right.
And it's kind of and I look at that and I think, isn't that sweet? That's really nice.
Well, and it's when I have somebody who comes to me who has no experience, no professional credits, nothing really on a resume. Basically, what I want to do is help them create
So you're creating a resume. Yes.
Exactly. So everything from just having the best vocal coach in town, or having the best circ trainers, or working with people who work for these large production houses, even that, when you put it on paper, can help you kind of get a foot in the door, rather than just walking and be like, I've never done anything and I have no idea what's happening.
And the trouble is that the innocent ones do that. They say, well, I haven't really done anything. This is my first time. And it's like the worst thing you could ever possibly say.
Exactly.
Because the director looks at you and says, well, why don't you just turn around and walk back out again? But do you find it easier now not to have all the training? I always think that a lot of people like a lot of naturalness out there.
You still need the skills.
The foundation.
You still, because especially in this town, when a lot of what happens out here is based on some kind of stunt work, whether it's an aerialist or diving or whatever it is. You have to have the skills behind it just for safety's sake.
Yeah.
You know, you still want to be able to walk into any audition. If you're auditioning to be a generalist can mean that you're doing any kind
Anything.
of...
Yeah.
Exactly. General. You still need to be able to execute everything effectively and to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really trying to get people to do. So if you do lyra, if you do aerial hoop, well then you're going to go train for aerial silk.
Of course.
And you're going to train for trapeze, because we want everybody. I want everybody to have this well-rounded package.
And also to be good at what they're really going to present and what they're going to do. Be the best. And it's so funny because I always say, you know, if you're going to do something out there, do the best.
Absolutely.
If you're going to be a secretary, be the best secretary.
Absolutely.
If you're going to be a trainer, be the best trainer, because you're going to be there for that time anyway. So you might as well do the best you possibly can.
I completely
now,
agree.
Were you an actress at one time?
I model.
You model.
Yes.
Well, I'm not surprised. 5'10", wouldn't. Now, why did you? Are you still doing it? Or?
I still do some work. I work with the companies that I have long-term relationships with, but I don't. I've come to a point in my career where I don't need to seek out additional business. I've made.
You've created your own business.
Exactly. I've created my little bubble, if you will, and I enjoy helping people become what they can be.
Well, you probably know what they have to go through because you went through
Exactly.
it. So you know exactly the ins and outs. Were you in New York modeling? Or
No, I was in Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Yes, so I'm originally from San Francisco. Then for whatever reason, my mother decided that we were going to move to Kansas City, and I lived in Overland Park, Kansas for a number of years, and then moved back to LA. And
What has been your best or your most prosperous place, I guess, because you're quite young yet?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed living in Vegas because there's so many opportunities for different kinds of people.
Yes.
Where, when I moved back to LA, I was signed with an agency, and they had a very specific look, and at the time I fit that look.
Yes.
And the problem is that once you get put through the ringer enough times, people get tired of that same look, and so you have to change it up, and that doesn't always work for you.
She certainly changed her look.
A little bit. A little bit. So when I came out here, I had this set of skills as not just a dancer, but as a model and as a performer, that it was a really easy transition for me because I knew some people out here already. So getting back into a performance avenue.
What sort of performance were you talking about?
So I used to dance. I danced in La Rev.
La Rev.
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And then I subbed for Peep Show at Planet Hollywood.
Yes.
And I've worked with a couple other productions in town. So right now, like one of my friends is producing a show called Alice at Brooklyn Bowl, and it's a steampunk version of Alice in Wonderland. So it's a really cool thing. Yeah. So a lot of the people that I work with, a lot of the coaches that I work with, are in that show, and so it's a really kind of cool way to see all these entertainers from all these different shows come together and put on something that's just for the art.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So are you part of that? Have you done any directing with that, or since then all your friends?
Yeah. So the most recent really cool production that we did was a group of about 5 of us. It was for Maxim Magazine's Halloween party in Los Angeles. It was the 50-year anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So
Wow,
so we wrote and produced and performed in this little miniature version of Rocky
So you
Horror.
created the whole thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, is this your
rewrote,
production, or is it the 5 of you, or?
No. It was primarily my friend Katie and my friend Enoch. So Enoch is the host of Zombie Burlesque.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you've seen that show. If you haven't, you should.
I haven't,
amazing.
but that's the last time we'll go see it.
And Katie is probably one of the most dangerous women in in entertainment in Las Vegas. She's just been involved with every production house. She's worked for everybody. I mean, everyone from magic to dancers to everything else. And so we came together when the opportunity was presented to us, and we're just like, let's just do it. Let's just go crazy.
You know, I think the hardest thing to ever do is you can talk about something, you have this beautiful feeling, this beautiful thing in front of you, and nobody ever does it. You're one of these people that actually puts it out there and actually does it.
Yeah.
On that, we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back, and we're going to find out a little bit about how she got involved with all these people in Vegas, and how did she have that magic touch. We'll be back. Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon, and I'm of course Ninon, your host, and we have Samantha with us telling us an incredible story. And I was asking her, she's only been here 6 years, and getting into the entertainment business that we all know is very hard to get into it, because you've got to, it's proof. Mm-hmm. You have to prove that you're going to be there, or prove what you know, who you know, you do have the talent. Right. But then so doesn't everybody else out there has all this. So you've got to kind of fight through this gap. How hard, because you've only been here 6 years.
Correct.
And there's a lot of showbiz here, a lot of talent here,
yes.
A lot of competition. Mm-hmm. How did you fight into that?
Well, I was very lucky. When I first came to town, I had an in to the show that I initially was working with. When I was working with Laura, I was very good friends with the dance captain. So there happened, they were looking for another dancer, and I told her, hey, I'm not doing anything right now. You know, do you want me to come in and audition? And she was like, oh yeah, come on in. And I danced, and it was just, sometimes it's just that little bit of luck.
Yeah, yes, that roller.
And then, because the big thing is once you're in, you meet all these people.
Well, that's true too, but you also did turn around and sort of give her the opportunity to say she wasn't looking for a dancer. Yeah. And you did turn around and say, well, I could dance, you know. Exactly. You probably said, well, you will? Yeah. Like, you know, so of course I will.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So you actually grabbed an opportunity.
Yes.
And that was the opportunity that has taken you all the way through to here.
Exactly.
So with that little opportunity of being here, when you probably didn't ask, how much am I going to get paid?
Oh no.
See, these are one of the things you just don't do. You just say yes, you go into it, and you don't ask those, I call them silly questions, because that can destroy an interview, it can destroy a job. So it's just a matter of being willing.
Especially when you're just starting out. Especially when you're just starting out, because all of a sudden, if you get that tag of just being money hungry, nobody wants to work with you, because all of a sudden you're going to fight them on the contract, you're going to fight them on all these different things. Just walk in and be ready to work.
Contract, you said. What is a normal sort of contract you would sign with these people, just so younger people would understand?
Sure. Generally, when you're looking at a contract, you're going to go for they're generally going to start you on about 6 months. And then from there, they'll see how it goes, because once you're in that contract, you're going to work for that amount of time.
For 6 months.
Exactly.
So they're going to see how you
re-sign.
perform. Yeah.
Yes. And so if you're not, especially if you're not established, you're going to be working on a shorter contract, because they want to see how it works out for you. And then that way you're not locked into this, 18-month, exactly, or some ridiculous thing.
Contract,
David Copperfield's a very prominent performer in town, and he signs 10-year contracts. He's one of those guys. Those big, long contracts. And when you're first starting out, you don't want to be stuck with the show for that long.
So these are good things to understand
out
there.
Absolutely.
So when they offer you a 6-month contract, do not be disappointed.
No,
be happy.
Don't be upset. Be thrilled.
Well, sometimes they probably think, well, I've only got a 6-month contract. They can't probably like me that much. But it's the total opposite.
Right. Exactly.
But also they're testing you. They also have an opportunity to get out. You both have an opportunity to relieve each other if it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Now, also when you're in a contract like that, is it good to try to get on with all the cast and everybody to have that kind of even feel?
Absolutely. You want to make friends with everybody because
sometimes you don't want to be friendly with them, but
we're sharing very close quarters with people. If you've ever seen a quick change room, we're looking at a room about half the size of this booth where 10 to 20 people are all trying to change costumes. So we want to be friends with people. You definitely want to have, because these people are your family. You're spending all your day with them. You're spending all your night with them.
And they might have another place where you leave this and then they're in somewhere else, and they will say, well, I know this girl and she can come in and she's a great dancer, and she's good and she's fun. And so you want to keep that reputation out there, because you've got to have that reputation.
Yes.
How can anybody reach you? Samantha?
You can find me on Facebook, or Instagram's probably the best way to find me. It's Samantha from Vegas on Instagram.
Samantha from Vegas. And how could you ever miss her? Samantha's amazing. You are just
Just
amazing.
look for the hair.
Just look
Thank
for the
you.
hair. No, the hair and the laugh and the smile. You're a beautiful woman. You're
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you.
Absolutely great. And thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show.
you for having me.
And good luck with everything you do. And don't forget,
you.
there's nothing too much out there that you can do. There's always these inspirations.
Oh, absolutely. Always looking for something
grab
new.
them all. Grab them all. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. Take care.